Welcome to the Bitcoin Marketing Podcast, where we highlight the best and brightest in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Today is a special day because we have a new co-host that will be joining us. Her name is Desiree, and she is a filmmaker and storyteller in the Bitcoin space. Hello, Desiree. Welcome to the show. 1 second.
It's good to be here.
Boy, you turned off your video.
I forgot to mention that my camera, I left my other camera in the United States, and this one shuts off every 30 minutes, but I'm here and I can hear you and everything is good. So welcome to the show, Desiree. And our guest today is Rick from CryptoCloaks. If you haven't heard of CryptoCloaks, it's a company that is dedicated to 3D printing, and you can get all of your accessories there. Hello, Rick. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Good. Thanks for inviting me. How does your camera shut off randomly every 30 minutes?
Because it's the old version, and so it doesn't have it doesn't know that it's being fed through HDMI.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I know.
We'll figure it out.
Go ahead. I didn't know you had, but do you have a beer inside the thing, or is it a cup?
It's a koozie. It's a grenade koozie.
Is that yours?
Okay, so why don't we start there?
Yeah.
Tell us where the Bitcoin grenade idea came from, how that whole thing came about, and how long ago was this? Like, how long has this company existed for?
Yeah, so we've been around since 2017. We started in like November, December. So we've been around for, I think we're gonna hit 8 years in November, which is gonna be pretty awesome. The Bitcoin grenade, though, started all from a conference that was being held in Vietnam. A guy that probably nobody knows anymore because it's been years and years and years is Hans. And he reached out and was working with this company, or the Eric from, God, I can't even remember that company's name. It's been seriously 7 years. But they were holding a conference in Vietnam. And they're like, we want to do something original and give out to every single member. So they're like, let's do a grenade with a Bitcoin symbol on it. And that's where all of that blew up from. And it's actually like a pretty wild story, because after doing 150 grenades to give out to everybody at the conference, we shipped them out to Vietnam, not thinking maybe we should take them apart, not make them actually look like grenades. So customs in Vietnam got them, and immediately we're like, what the fuck is this? Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this podcast, but they literally said that. And yeah, so they actually had to call veterans from the Vietnam War to come look at the box and like dig through the grenades and like make sure they weren't real. It was a whole thing, but it was hilarious. And it's like, to this day, people, when they get Bitcoin grenades at like conferences, still have to like make sure they take them apart or they get stopped by TSA. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That story, it's gold. We're gonna bring it back.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild. Vietnam was where it was born, and here we are now.
Did the guys know about Bitcoin when they found the grenades? Like, did the
No, they were like, what the fuck is this grenade? They go, what is this? Why is America sending us 150 like grenades? They didn't care about the Bitcoin symbol.
By mail.
By mail. Why is there 150 grenades coming from America to Vietnam?
That's crazy. One of my favorite Bitcoin art is the like reinterpretation of the Banksy graffiti. That's one of my favorite shirts, but I couldn't find it. It's dirty, probably.
Yeah, no, we love that shirt. That's a good one.
It's one of the best like iconography for Bitcoin. So
yeah, the grenade has kind of its own culture, which I'll take. That's what I wanted.
The company has existed for 8 years, but how long have you been a Bitcoiner then?
8 years, basically. So when I started the company, it was basically 6 months, or maybe like even 2 months after I got into Bitcoin, just because I graduated college. I got into 3D printing from college and fell in love with it. Wanted my own 3D printer. And when I got into Bitcoin, I first bought my Ledger hardware wallet. And I go, I don't want this just to sit on my desk. This is dumb. This should be hidden. And so I designed my own mount to store it underneath your desk. And then I was like, oh, maybe other people want this. So then I started my first Etsy shop. And then 6 months after that, I was like, why am I giving Etsy all like 35% of my sales? I'm going to start my own website. And yeah, now we're here. So that's where it all really started, was 8 years ago now, with a Ledger hardware wallet.
Thinking like a Bitcoin, hiding your hardware wallet. Genius. I
mean, why should we have that on our desk? I don't want that on there.
Exactly.
Well, but you're not still using a Ledger, are you?
No. This was way before all the Ledger debacles happened over the years. I mean, when I tell the story, I'm like, oh, God, I have to mention Ledger. And then I have to be like, okay, you guys, don't buy a Ledger. Anything else.
There we go. Lesson learned. So who is the company? You are incorporated, like you guys are a company and you own it. It's like a private
Yeah,
company.
we're an LLC. So basically, CryptoCloaks is an LLC, single person. I am it. I am CryptoCloaks. We are not a huge corporation. If people ever think we're a huge corporation, this is CryptoCloaks. You're looking at it. We run out of a basement in a house. We have another guy in Florida, Mopar Mining. He runs our Florida shop and has 14 printers. And then we have a web engineer that literally does our website. That's us.
Well, the reason why I was asking is because I don't know if you've heard of Thunder Funder, and I was wondering what you think about that platform and its goal.
Yeah, because Thunder Funder's like for like VC marketing to raise capital, right? Or no?
It's like for small companies to raise capital, yeah.
Yeah. So my whole thing is I never want VC money ever. I built my company over 8 years because for me, if I take VC money, I lose control. I know Thunder Funder is kind of different on that aspect, but I never want to lose control of my company.
Well, your VCs are the plebs in the sense that it's like a decentralized crowdfunding kind of investment.
Yeah, that one's different. That one's different than some like regular VC coming in and going, hey, we'll give you like $100,000 or $500,000 and now you have to do what we want.
No, and like one of the first conferences I went to was Unconference, and Jimmy Song was speaking, and he was talking about rent seeking, and he was talking about VCs as being like a fiat thing.
Well, they are 100%.
But I do think in that sense, Thunder Funder is different.
Yeah.
But like, of course, every person has a right to like decide who they want to share their decision making.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to be on Thunder Funder to take community things because literally I have built my company based on what the community wants. So like over the years, most of my products are either something I want or the community has asked for and we have made and printed.
Yeah, like I want one of your.
So it's almost like crowdfunding. Yeah, it's almost like crowdfunding without crowdfunding where the community says, we want this, I make it, and then they buy our product because they're the ones that want it in the first place. So I guess I have a unique aspect of where I can kind of like dodge all of that, not have to ever take VC money because I just do it naturally with the community on my own. In a way, I guess.
No, totally. You're reminding me because when I went to Prague, and Prague is one of our sponsors and one of the people.
I want to go to Prague. I've heard it's really, really badass. I want to go to the Prague conference because I heard it's just like straight up badass, old school type Bitcoin conferences, and I need to make it out there eventually.
You're surrounded by two girls to whom it's their favorite company.
That's amazing. I love that.
It's very cypherpunk.
I was just talking with like 3 other people about it.
Your customers
and they were
are
like, "Yo,
we
Prague,
want this.
You need to go there." And eventually,
that would be the perfect place for CryptoCloaks, I would say.
No, I love that.
When you go there, you're going to spend the most of your time sitting outside on the benches with all the European Bitcoiners, which are hilarious, and they bring like Bitcoin boom boxes, and it's the best.
Did you guys ever go to a Lightning conference? I went to the Lightning conference in Berlin.
But how was that?
I mean, that was years and years and years ago when Lightning was first started, and that was like one of my favorite conferences of all time.
Yeah. It's starting, I think, tomorrow. Today's
happening right now?
First or the second. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Bitcoin Plus is doing that, and it's all focused on Lightning
in Berlin.
I know because I made the video.
Shit, nice. Yeah, that's amazing. There we go. No, that's awesome. I went to the very first Lightning conference in Berlin, and I had a blast. Like it was the most low key conference, but it was the best because it was just basically builders on Lightning. And that was my favorite one I've been.
That's what I wanted this podcast to be about. You have been a long time in Bitcoin and you have been part of, like you have had an opportunity to be very integrated to the community. What have been some of the most interesting cultural things you have seen happen in Bitcoin or just in your experience?
I mean, in the last couple of years, I hate watching Wall Street come in. The early days, Lightning nodes were probably my favorite besides like the space heating element. Just being part of like the hashtag reckless days of Bitcoin Lightning. Nobody will understand unless you were in it. The fact that you can just like easily accept a $2,000 transaction on Lightning nowadays, which our shop does, is wild to me. It still blows my mind because I still remember the days back where $10 was tough to get over Lightning. You had to have certain channels and doing all this stuff, and watching that whole ecosystem evolve has been crazy. Yeah, it's been nuts. And besides that, like the space heating element, my favorite project that I've ever done was doing the Bitcoin space heater out of old S9s and writing a 30-page guide where anybody can 3D print and build their own. That was probably my second favorite thing that I've ever been a part of, besides like Lightning.
I have heating issues and I want to build the space heater, so I am a huge fan of that invention. And I also think it's like the most reasonable way. Like that's how you secure the network. You secure the network by building people's, like warming up people's homes.
Oh yeah. And like the space heating aspect in Bitcoin alone, just with miners, has changed so much in the last couple of years. Like Canaan keeps coming out with like home miners, and now more and more mining companies are like making basically lotteries and like home miners to heat their house. And that space in general is just going to skyrocket in the next like at least couple of years. The technology is really coming. I think they're understanding the aspect of heat reuse, which is it's taken up long enough, but it's time.
I think it's incredible because like one of the things I fear the most is censorship resistance and real like minor decentralization, so that we don't fall victim of confiscatability and frozen transactions. So I am so excited for home mining. I am still excited about it, and I am looking forward to the future.
I mean, I don't think that's ever going to happen, because you just hear about all these like plebs building rogue miners out of like in the middle of frickin' nowhere. Like I don't think we'll ever have to technically worry about that, unless like the state really gets crazy and wants to try to like mess around. But even if the state does that, the plebs will always win. We don't give a fuck about the state. So
sorry, yeah.
I mean, we'll always figure out ways how
to just start to understand.
And moments like this
I think
is why I
everybody
like
should get into it, get a bit axe or a heater or something, just to kind of dip their feet and understand like what it really means.
Oh, it's super important. Absolutely. No, it's really important. I think that's what's cool about like the home mining space and like bit axes and like nerd axes and stuff like that, is it really gives you a low dollar cost to get in and kind of learn about it. It's basically just a newer S9 is how I look at it for learning, because right now I would always tell people to buy an S9 and learn about Bitcoin mining and mess with that. And now you can get something way more efficient.
I love it. Okay, but when I was asking you the question, I guess I meant it more like culturally. Imagine Bitcoin was a high school. Like, talk to me about who is in this high school.
God, culturally? I mean, me and my buddies always joke, ever since Wall Street entered, Bitcoin culture is kind of dying. And it's wild to see, because like the suits are taking over, right? And the cypherpunks are dying out, and you never hear about them.
Sorry to interrupt you, but that's why Prague is awesome, because it's
I know. I always like think about the glory days on X back in like 2018 to 2020. It was my favorite time. Then Twitter, and I hate that I just called it X because I always call it Twitter. That just tells me time's going too fast. But that was my favorite, is the culture around Bitcoin on Twitter back in those years, and it's slowly going away the more and more that it gets popular. And I think it's just bound to happen, and it's not like a sad thing. It's not like a bad thing. It's just going to happen. And luckily we have the memories from the early days, because nobody will understand. But as normies join, cultures change. And I think especially as states start getting into Bitcoin, and Wall Street, the suits that we always have hated, get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's for our enemies. I mean, it's going to happen, and culture is going to change with it. And it's definitely changing. I mean, the culture around Bitcoin is nowhere near what it used to be in the glory days of like cypherpunks building. Now it's Bitcoin treasury companies and get your paper Bitcoin, because real Bitcoin is not as important anymore.
I mean, the American crypto bros are definitely a thing.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more young people. I
know. They give us such a bad reputation.
Developers in Africa building. I feel like they're bringing out the cypherpunk spirit, I would say.
Oh God, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think we're gonna have kind of like how Bitcoin goes in cycles. We're gonna have that same thing now over and over again, where you're gonna have cypherpunks come in and out, because it's gonna have to happen. Because in the long run, who's really running the back end of it? It's the low key people that you never hear on Twitter, because most Bitcoiners that actually are into Bitcoin, they're never on Twitter. It's really turned into, I don't even know anymore. It's wild. It used to just be plebs running on Twitter, but now you watch tons of plebs accounts disappear. Like I've watched it over and over again, where I've always talked to people for years, and they're gone. Yeah. I mean, you got to influence, right? It's basically turned into like an influencer paradise, which I understand it's going to happen with culture, but I think that's where we're at this point in time. It's not no-name people constantly talking about like F the state and stuff like that. It's more, okay, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's
But
where I
like on
see
that
culturally.
note, sorry, what?
Yeah. No, I was just saying like that's where I see it culturally right now.
Yeah, but on that note, like where do you stand with V30? Because I feel like that whole cypherpunk.
Oh, I've been staying out of this bullshit for a long time. I think both sides are retarded. If I can say that. Honestly, in the long run, Bitcoin doesn't give a fuck, and it's going to continue. We've been down this road, and it's like the same shit over and over and over in cycles. If you've been here long enough, you've seen it before. Bitcoin will survive. I'm not worried about it. I'm not picking sides. I'll just keep my core running at 0.28 or whatever, just to see what happens. I'm not joining any side because both sides are retarded.
I mean, I hear you.
What we
It's
need is
like-
a third party, because right now we have like the two-sided system, just like politics. It's bullshit, right? Why do we have two things? If we really want to like make Bitcoin crazy, there should be infinite implementations of what we call core nowadays. But the problem is we're locked in right now and we're choosing sides between NOTs and core. Why are we doing that?
I do agree that when I first came to Bitcoin, I was surprised to find that there were so few implementations. I do think that that's improved over the last like 7 years, because I came into Bitcoin around the same time as you did. And I do agree that we vote with our node, and like you don't need to bicker, you just pick what code you run.
Yeah, I mean, arguing on Twitter, trying to convince somebody to go to the other side is like trying to convince a Democrat to go Republican or a Republican to go Democrat. It's never going to happen. And so like the constant bickering of like trying to say, oh, you need to join our side, this is why the other side's wrong. At this point, it's so political, it's pointless. Is how I watch it. I just laugh at it on both sides, because it just gets crazier and crazier, and I don't think it's done with. And I think it's going to continue for a while.
You mean the debate about op return?
The debate, yeah, like that's gonna go on for a long time, and I'll just keep an eye. I don't like to not be informed, so I'm definitely keeping an eye out and watching what people are talking about. But I just don't feel like I need to ever put my voice out there and be like, this is what you should do. This is what I do. I'm at the point in my Bitcoin journey where I'm just at like the I don't give a fuck stage, where I don't really need to tell people my opinion, and I just want to build cool stuff. I just want to build cool stuff and like work with the community. That's all I really care about in the long run.
I think you're a person who might have a lot of insight into like what companies are doing it right, and who's coming up with interesting stuff, and who's the next person to keep your eye out for.
Oh God, on the spot with other companies. I mean, if we want to look at like new stuff coming out, watching SAT Stacking Pleb just build like slim miners on S19s with Loki rigs. Anybody working on like, so what I see changing, or like the big stuff that's coming, is everything with like the open source home mining. It doesn't even have to be open source. Like you don't have to release your files all the time, but like anything in the home mining space is going to be what you're looking out for. There's tons of companies building home miner heating things like different ways. You got slim miners, you got people ducking in ASICs into your furnaces, just like how we've been doing for years. But it's really slowly becoming like a more mainstream thing. And I think as time goes along, that's what I'm most excited about, is heat reuse on the Bitcoin with Bitcoin miners. Because if you want to secure the network while also not just wasting heat, that's where we're at. There is no, like, even Satoshi back in like 2010 talked about, there was a post that somebody sent me, and it was like, a gaming rig mining Bitcoin isn't a waste because you're using the heat to heat your room. That's not a direct quote, but there's definitely a post on the Bitcoin Talk forums about how he mentions like heat reuse on Bitcoin in the early days. Mm-hmm. And now you're finally seeing that like with the miners and the heat and how much they produce. And you're like, yeah, why wouldn't you take these industrial miners like home mining and plug them into your furnace and start reusing the heat that way, and like at least mine Bitcoin?
Who do you think is Satoshi?
Well, I'm not answering that one. I don't really care who Satoshi is, and I hope he or she or groups of people, whoever does it, literally stays anonymous. I really don't care. Mm-hmm. And I will never try to figure out Satoshi. And I hate when people try to do it, because in the long run, that's only going to hurt Bitcoin if you finally find out who Satoshi is and you go through a whole thing. I think it's very special that you have this internet money built from the ground up with out of nothing and where we are today, all because this person decided to stay anonymous, or a group of people. Like, we don't ever need to know. And I I hate when people try to figure it out, to be honest. I'm like, don't worry about it. We have this thing. Why are you trying to like ruin something that's basically perfect?
I think it's inevitable for everybody to go down the rabbit hole when they first arrive.
Yeah.
But I do not think about that at all, ever.
I don't care, ever.
Though, I do wonder if the better question is then, do you think that the Satoshi coins are ever going to move?
Probably not. Because if they truly are under Satoshi, like my best bet is like what I honestly think is Satoshi's like deceased. They're dead. Like that person, whoever created it, is dead. Will the coins ever move? I have no idea. I don't think so. I think those coins are locked away for a lifetime, many lifetimes, infinite amount of times. I think they're gone, just like how people have lost seed phrases over the decade that Bitcoin has been around and more. So yeah, I honestly think Satoshi's been dead for I don't know how many years. And if they're not, you are the greatest thing that has ever came around for never clout chasing, never trying to be an influencer and being like, look at this greatest tool I ever made. I also understand why they would never want to become famous or talk about it and say I created this, because governments and agencies and everything else are basically going to kill you anyways. So you might as well pretend to be dead. No, seriously, like if somebody came out and was actually like, I created Bitcoin, you're going to be dead by the governments and everything anyway. So why would you ever want that to deal with that anyway?
You think so? Yeah, they die. They die for their money. Somebody would kidnap them. They're so rich.
It's not even that. I think government agencies would basically go after them.
Yeah, both things. Criminals but yeah.
It's wild. So they're either dead or they're playing dead, and I hope it stays that way and stays anonymous, because that's what truly makes Bitcoin special and why it's what we have today. Like, no, everybody's like, oh, you trust a Satoshi guy? I was like, I don't trust Satoshi. I trust the network. I trust the code. I trust everything that we have now that's built. Like Satoshi is just like a blip. He created the greatest thing ever, and now it is what it is.
Do you think if it came to light that Satoshi was X or Y person, it could have the potential of destroying Bitcoin, or it wouldn't even matter?
I would hope, for the love of God, that it would never even change anything. I mean, that would be the dumbest shit ever. Like, why would you ruin the best money that humanity has ever had over knowing who Satoshi is? That would be my hope.
Sure. And I think in a sense, we're kind of past that. Maybe it would have mattered in 2013, in 2014, it probably won't matter anymore now.
Yeah, I don't think so, because Bitcoin's gotten so big, right? It's on a global scale. I don't think anybody would care, nor should they ever try to search for it.
Okay, so you have a lot of experience with the Lightning Network. Yeah. And one of my biggest fears about the Lightning Network is transaction fees being super high, because it messes with the incentives for good behavior on Lightning to be able to force close a channel. Does that ever concern you? The possibility of fees being outpriced or Bitcoin scalability?
I've lost so much money in the reckless days of Lightning that I don't even care what the fees are anymore. I have a hard drive that's literally sitting in a safe right now that has 6 million sats from a old reckless Raspberry Blitz node that maybe someday I'll be able to get it when I pay somebody to tear it apart, put disks somewhere else. But no, I really don't. I'm not worried about that. I'm really not. I think we're in the time and age of like fear mongering in Bitcoin, and I really don't care about any of that. Like, it's not going to happen. We have the greatest money in the world. Why would I ever worry about small things at this point? Is where my mindset is. I'm not worried about fees.
You are very peaceful. I get anxious about every Satoshi that gets lost on Telegram bot pays.
I've lost 6 million on a Raspberry Blitz node. I lost 8 million from a seed phrase that I copied wrong from paper to metal. Somebody actually cracked that seed phrase, because eventually after 6 years, I said, hey, here's a seed phrase. This is what I call my Titanic. If you guys can crack this, you get 8 million sats. And they were actually nice enough to like send me 1 million sats back from it. Well, they took 7. So, I mean, I got 1 million sats from 8 million sats I thought I lost. So that was great. But yeah, somebody cracked it in like 2 weeks. I'm like, holy fuck. Your sats are never gone. Man. I spent 6 years trying to get that back.
I wish I'd seen it back there. I did not see this post. I would have tried.
I know, yeah. So we posted about it. I was like, all right, here's the seed phrase. Something's wrong with it. And somebody cracked it in 2 weeks and like figured out it was one word. They go, you're going to hate yourself, but it was one word that was wrong. And I go, great. But I'm glad they got it. I was like, make sure of good use. And like, oh, it's straight going to my family's I was like, that's all I need. That's all I need to hear. It's better than sitting in loss forever. If it's going to somebody else's family, and I get a million sats from it. I mean, that's a win. That's how I look at it.
Would you be a Bitcoiner for its human rights qualities alone? If Bitcoin wasn't going to make you rich, would you still be a Bitcoiner?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's why we're here, right? We want to be able to send money whenever we want. I don't care what the value it is, but the fact that it gives people the way to transact without banks, because we all hate banks, we all hate the Fed. Yeah, no matter how much it's worth, I don't care. Yes, it's mooning. That's fucking fantastic, but
is it?
I would use it. We're at like one. I mean, we're not really mooning. That's an over exaggeration. It's going up a little bit. A moon would be like 250K at this point. Everybody that's like, oh my god, we're going. It's getting crazy. It's up $1,000. Like everybody, calm down. Let's just calm down.
I think 250K for this cycle would be a reasonable expectation.
That's like a moon. Like that's mooning to me. Like if anybody uses the term Bitcoin's mooning and it's not 250K, get out of here. Please stop. This is just your average up 3,000, down 2,000, where we're at in the cycle. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, we're going up.
We are formally founding the 250K camp.
Yeah, basically. Let's do it. But yeah, of course I would use Bitcoin without it because I love it. I love that it's peer-to-peer. I love that I don't ever have to go to my bank and ask to send a transaction around. I mean, it really does allow people to use money how it should be, and you don't ever have to worry about the repercussions of it. So yes, I don't care what the value is. Is it nice that it's going up? Yes, it's a long-term hedge against inflation. That's all I care about also. So it's a win.
Do you think that it's going to coexist with the digital ID and like the digital euro? Or do you think that Europeans are going to be like, no, we are buying Bitcoin?
God, well, for Europeans, I pray to God that you guys fight that digital ID because you're fucked if you have it. I will tell you that right now.
It's coming for the British. It's coming already. Like the British are already on schedule.
I know. Didn't Sweden just like accept it too by like a marginal vote? Yeah. I mean, what are you guys doing? You guys are literally asking for slavery. I don't even understand it. You're literally voting for yourself to be a slave. And it's like, all right, well, I hope you have Bitcoin or else you guys are going to be absolutely wrecked because it controls every aspect. So like Bitcoin, at least if you're a Swede or in the UK, British, you better have Bitcoin because that's the only way you'll be able to transact if the government hates what you're doing.
Yeah, is that the terrifying part is that there's a very large part of the population who is driven by fear and who think that they are good people and therefore they have nothing to fear, you know?
Yeah, I feel bad for those people. Because I love how your camera turned off at the absolute perfect timing with that for 30 minutes. It was meant to be.
Leaving this chat.
I'm done. I'm done before I get in trouble and censored myself. But no, I really do feel bad. I hope that shit never comes to America because if it does, I hope, God, as an American ourselves, like we hate shit like that. But who knows? There's a lot of people that don't think like us as Bitcoiners. So who knows what happens? Because if the majority takes over, I mean, it is what it is, and you have to deal with the repercussions. But thank God we have Bitcoin.
Yeah, because it's there for us if we need it.
Yeah, exactly.
And what would you say would be ways that we could prevent that from happening? What are you seeing?
Boy, ways of preventing the population from getting brainwashed to accept digital IDs.
Well, we're seeing people who are advocating for better policy around it, right? And education. They're actually going in and lobbying for Bitcoin, which is interesting. That's an important part of it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I don't think becoming friends with politicians is going to be our greatest win of all time, to be honest. It's going to be talking to the low-key, small populations and being like, hey, this is why you want it. This is what you need it for. If the government ever comes after you, you don't have to worry about that. Getting politicians in your hand is fun and all, but in the long run, it really does nothing. Yeah, cool. It changes policy. But in the grand scheme of things, as Bitcoiners from the early days, we don't give a fuck about policy. I don't care what you tell me I can do with my Bitcoin. I don't care what laws you come up with Bitcoin, how to transact, who's a money transactor. I really don't care. I'm going to use Bitcoin however I want because that's why it's built. And if a politician tries to tell me otherwise, choice words. So I don't need politicians in my pocket.
What do you think is the easiest way to get peer-to-peer Bitcoin or Bitcoin? Well, no KYC Bitcoin.
Running your own business or accepting Bitcoin on the side for side hustles or selling stuff. That's going to be your best bet to get peer-to-peer Bitcoin. I know there's like exchanges that do peer-to-peer the same way, but find Bitcoiners in your circle or friends where they need fiat, you need Bitcoin, go back and forth that way.
Use CryptoCloaks, right?
Yeah. Buy
make
CryptoCloaks so I can stack KYC free Bitcoin. I love it. Yeah, exactly.
that you could sell.
Exactly. I mean, I've never sold a stat that the company has gotten over 8 years. I will always take loans if I need to pay bills. Every stat that we've gotten goes straight to cold storage, tucked away forever. So, and by
your
ever, I
product,
just mean whenever I want to sell it.
you said that it's a lot of like people who know about you, they ask for what they want and you give it to them, right? So how
Yep.
does that work?
So usually somebody either hits me up on Telegram or they hit me up on Twitter and they're like, hey, Rick, you should make this. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I just like create random stuff. I send it out and there we are. Like the next product's out. That happens. Usually
That's
a lot
cool.
of stuff happens over DMs. The community will reach out and be like, hey, I know you're busy or doing whatever. Love what you do, but you should make this. And I just make it. And they're like, holy shit, you actually did it. And I was like, yeah, of course. That's why I'm here.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Earlier, I got sidetracked and I didn't explain that what you guys were talking about had reminded me of how in BTC Prague, I got a chance to speak to Rockstar Dev. That was the first time I met him because actually that was the last interview I did.
I love that, man.
So that was cool.
Good dude.
But when I talked to him in Prague, I asked him, how does a company that makes open source free software make any money? And so what you were saying was a different version of the same thing that he was saying, because what he was saying is in Bitcoin, you create value, people come, you will have money, which is very different to fiat. In fiat, it's like, I mean, in fiat that happens also, but there's something particular about Bitcoiners that have a very strong understanding of what creating value means and reward it accordingly.
Well, 100%. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Bitcoiners. I built my entire business based on Bitcoiners because I am one. So like I said, all the products we make are something that I want in Bitcoin myself, or the community has literally said, hey, we want this, make this, and then I do it. So.
But your designs are also open source, right?
Some of them. I mean, I don't open source everything. I think there's a lot of LARPing around open source on some things. I don't open source everything. I understand Bitcoin's open sourced, works great with software, but when it comes to products, I also understand capitalism and how you shouldn't just give away all your stuff. Obviously, there's been people will say, oh, well, you'll get money from donations. Well, trust me, I've tried both ways just for my own like research. I go, I'm going to open source a product. Let me see what I would get based on that versus just like selling it and not open source. It never compares, right? What I sell and don't allow people to print themselves, I'll make way more money. So for the time being, if I want to stack sats, I'm going to do that. As time goes along, I still open source stuff. I just don't open source everything. I love giving back to the community from ideas. So I do allow them to just download files and print themselves, because in the Bitcoin space, I feel like I'm one of the biggest advocates that every Bitcoiner should own a 3D printer. I mean, it's self-sovereignty on a whole different level. Besides money, you're allowed to do whatever you want, print whatever you want, make whatever you want. And open sourcing files to allow people to print their own of my designs or like other stuff, I think it's really important also.
A 3D printer and a Start 9 and a steel plate key, and off you go.
In every home.
Beginner or Bitcoiner kit. You should put that
basically.
together.
We want that in every home. Every Bitcoiner
and
should own a 3D printer. Yes.
If you don't live south of the equator.
Yeah. Exactly. I love it.
We say that we're early. We say that a lot. And usually we're referring to the price. But frankly, like with our control conversation, to me, we're early in the sense that Bitcoin has had really very little influence with how government is run. Do you see a future where the government becomes our employees? Or how do you see, do you see drastic changes? What do you see?
I don't think the government will ever become our employees. They might bend the knee. They might bend the knee eventually to Bitcoin, but that's just them understanding that they can't outprint us. That has nothing to do with they're going to work for us. I mean, in the long run, do we ever need governments? That's a whole different other discussion. That's how you keep civilized society and stuff like that. It's like, well, does it? To a certain aspect. Yeah.
I would say rethinking the way we organize ourselves as a society. It sparked a lot of conversation
Yes.
around opting out and building your own thing. And with that, like my brain goes both ways of, well, is this going to turn into Lord of the Flies or is it going to turn into Utopia? Like, we don't know. We don't know
Exactly.
what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. No, that's the thing is I don't think we overall need the government, to be honest. I think smaller governments, if you want to call it that, are really what matters. And it comes down to running a society like a trust-based society. That's what you need. And you can see that in like rural towns compared to cities. Right?
Sorry, what did you say? You can see that what?
In rural towns, like small towns compared to like big cities, right? Well, big cities have a lot more government influence and bullshit that has to deal with them. Where like smaller towns, you got like a sheriff, couple cops, mail person, and it's just like a trust-based society on like everyone that's in it, right, in the community.
Yeah.
Everyone. I think small communities are the backbone of what you truly need, and I think that's where Bitcoiners are going to really post themselves versus government-ran big cities where people tell them what to do.
The cities are totally the attack.
I hate the city.
But also, like, I do agree with the fact that we have to be smaller and like hierarchical. And so like the one representative of one little circle goes to the other little circle, and then the other circle has more circles, and but it's super inefficient.
It is. But are we happier? That is the question.
But we need to become like mycelium and be able to communicate just with like our hormones, because the system is very slow.
Oh, the system's the slowest. It's the worst. The government's the worst. So like, why do we need them? I feel like just people talking to people make things happen way faster.
Okay, so you do think that there is like some great unknown that we hope is going to pan out for the better?
God, yeah. I mean, I hope we have less government in the future, because if we get more, we're all screwed. So we're going to be like Fifth Element, or what's that other movie where they scan your eyeballs and shit like that? What the hell is it? Yeah, what is that? Identity Report, right? Minority Report. Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't want that shit to happen. I mean, I can see that happening in the next 10 years if things keep going the way. That's why I stack Bitcoin.
Right?
Yeah, right. Free crime. I think with AI, it's going to get wild. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's the tool that, it's like they say, the knife, you could do so many things with it, right?
Yeah.
You could cook, you could kill. It's just what you do with it.
Yeah, it's
the tool.
It's good, but it could also be really bad.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and you brought up something like people talking to each other. I think communication is going to be key, and raising kids that can communicate really well interconnectedly. That's just something that could work anywhere, even if it is a city.
Like, I think the most important thing for me, honestly, like building my family out, is finding like a small community of people that think like us, and then just going from there, because then you can try to avoid all the other bullshit in the world, to be honest. Because like, in the grand scheme of things, when the government and you see all this fear mongering happen, 0.001% is actually going to affect your daily life. But people act like 99% of what these people are saying is a direct impact, when in reality it's just social media fucking with you and pretending that it's going to directly impact your life, when in reality it doesn't. Like, if you take a step back, go touch grass, and you see all this stuff happening, it doesn't matter. As long as you protect your family and your friends and you build, I mean, it really does not affect you. By the way, I see somebody over here, like in the back of your screen. Sorry, I got so sidetracked. This might be my ADD. But somebody just like walked through the fence in the window and was like touching a goat or something. And I was like,
gosh, this is actually a film, right? It's like,
I live on a farm.
Get out of the house.
And
get out of the house.
Chicken.
That's so amazing, because it'd be so funny. I literally just like saw like a gate open, or like somebody climb over. Yeah, see, if that's a video and not real life, my God, I just got like distracted. But I literally just like all of a sudden saw that and was like, what is this? I am so sorry. That's just,
well, no, you have nothing to be sorry about. It's totally relevant in the sense that Bitcoiners, we like the traditional life in the sense that we appreciate things that are low time preference. And that's one of the big lies about living in the United States. Like, I just moved back to Colombia, and like, the food is so good. The food is amazing. And like, life here is amazing. And it's such the United States has great stuff, like the security. Okay. I meant that for a minute. It's getting worse.
Hey,
It's getting
America's
worse.
great when you get out of the big cities. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
If you ever go to like rural, small town areas, they're the best.
Yeah, it's
That's where you're going to find
wonderful.
like the most low key, humble people.
Exactly. So like, don't be afraid to explore the world. The world has wonderful places that are nothing. Oh, because
God, yeah.
like that's what the other thing I wanted to say. The other thing I wanted to say is it's not really about Bitcoin, but it's something that I was thinking about recently about the news, and it's this. It's not just about like, oh, okay, I watch the news, maybe I believe it, I don't believe it. It's the fact that they have access to you. Your brain,
Yeah.
your brain space, the time, like they are buying your time, they're using your time, they're consuming like your moment, and they brainwash you with a facility that is astronomical. Like there are so many other realities out there that that you don't even think exist because you are so like fed through this tube. And
I mean, people
and I think
forget
it's
that time is our
nefarious,
most.
and the television is nefarious, and you should not have access to any news that is more than 100 kilometers from where you live.
I agree. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like time is our most valuable asset, and it's going to take a lot of people time to realize that, even over Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin's nothing versus the time you have on this world, right? Bitcoin's great. It's a tool to help you like kind of preserve your wealth, but in reality, the time that you have on this planet is the only thing that matters, and you better spend it wisely, is all I have to do. And I think Bitcoin really ties into that fundamental about giving your time back, really bringing you back to the basics of you don't have to consume. You don't have to be like, go through this whole fucking matrix bullshit. And it really did help me like understand all of that. And I'm very grateful for it. Like I understand how important my time is, how important time is with family over anything else. Like I don't care about how much money I make. I really don't. I care about spending what I have, like with my family, making their lives better, and like having experiences over the amount of money in my pocket. And I think Bitcoin changes that.
It allows you to have hope.
Yeah, exactly. Bitcoin is hope. I think I literally tweeted the other day that was like, if I didn't have Bitcoin, I wouldn't have had kids or something like that, based on like, I don't want my kids to have to deal with a utopian hell. Thank God for Bitcoin, because it actually gives them hope for like the future. Like, and it's true. Like I want more kids just based on Bitcoin, because it is our only hope for not going through a utopian hell.
Well, a dystopia, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Have you seen the trilogy? The
Yeah. What is that called again?
It's escaping me right now, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
We don't even have to say the title.
You don't even have to say it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember it either. I'm terrible with like names like that, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know.
It's okay that way.
That's fine. It's better this
Those
way.
who know. Okay. So, I don't know. The reason why I was asking you about the companies, I wasn't even interested for you to evaluate companies. I was more trying to get an insight into what is your next secret project.
My next secret project? I don't know. I have like 30 million things on a list. I tell everybody this because when they ask like, what are you building next? I have a list of community requests and then like what I want to do. And I don't even keep track of it anymore. I jump around. Like, as you could tell, I literally saw in your video that there's a person touching a goat over a fence. So like, I don't know if I have ADD or whatever, but I jump around so much that I couldn't even tell you what our next thing is until I do it. Because if I set my mind to it and I see something I really want to do, it's done. It'll be done in like 2 days. But I have a list and I jump around, and I don't know if it's like a blessing or a curse, but yeah, I'm very sporadic on what we do, but it's usually something from the community.
I love how you accept feedback from the community and let it inspire you to do things. And yeah, maybe the community will choose your next venture.
Yeah, tell me what you want, because literally I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the whole community, because I basically build products for you guys. That's why I'm here. So
we need better storytelling, better programming, and merch to go with it. So
yes, we do. I agree.
Culture, right?
We need to bring the culture back, because it's dying on Twitter. All right, people, come on.
Well, kids love shirts. That's like who you got to get
They
in,
do love
right?
shirts.
Like shirts, hats, swag, all that stuff.
I know. I just printed my 1.5-year-old. Or not printed, but got him made a little cap like mine, because he keeps taking my hat and trying to wear it. I'm like, I'm gonna get you your own, man. Here you go, buddy.
Oh, that's cute.
We should all just go back to Bitcoin Forum. I don't understand why the conversation moved from the Bitcoin Forum to the Twitter. Like, what the hell?
Bring me back to the forum days. I'm all for it. I grew up in like the gaming days, for the last like 25 years, and all we did was used to talk like on forums. I love forums. They're so old school, but I mean, they're the best. Like, they are great.
Well, but the forum was a way of speaking to people who were really, I'm talking specifically about the Bitcoin.org thing, or I can't remember the exact URL, but because like on Twitter, like we are so vulnerable to the algorithm. I agree with you. When
That's
I
why I
came to
never
Bitcoin,
really like
my
watched the
feed
feeds.
was so much cooler.
Yeah, have you guys tried Noster? I'm getting into it, yet I'm
Yes, but I
still.
also think it's just like 20 people talking to themselves over and over
Yeah,
and telling me
exactly.
how cool Nostr is, and I'm like, okay, that's great,
Yeah.
guys. If one of the 20 people don't tell me how cool Nostr is, then maybe I'll join. And I have yet to
It's
see.
again another marketing problem, right?
I mean,
If you
it's a
can
great
figure
tool.
it
I think
out.
decentralization on like that whole aspect is cool. It's very early. It's very clunky. I've tried like 20. I've tried so much shit, and I'm like, I hate this. This isn't fun and easy to use. Like, I would rather use a forum than use Nostr. It's the
What's the
worst.
difference between a forum and something
Isn't
like
it like
Noster? Why would
a
it
forum
work more?
isn't like decentralized at all. It's like it's a centralized like server, right? Nostr is a way different ballgame. It's all completely decentralized servers spread out throughout networks and nodes and all that stuff. Kind of like Bitcoin is like the big difference. That's why you have like 30 different relays that you have to like watch and make sure they work, or you don't get certain stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's early, right? It's just like lightning. So maybe in 5 years, it's going to be great. Which yes, then I will start using more.
We need more tools. Okay.
We do.
It's
Indeed.
true. The Nostr is cool, and signing up is a little bit of a hustle, but I do think that after I signed up, it wasn't a hustle anymore, except that I broke my account.
Like, my feeds never work, my messages never work, and like nothing ever fucking works on it. So I'm just like, this is so pointless. I can barely send a message and people see it, and like nothing ever like loads, and I'm sick of like constantly trying to like reload something to get it to work, and I'm just like,
is it because there's not enough relays? I think it's because
I don't know.
this network is
well,
so
everybody tells me it's my relays, and they're like, copy my relays, and I copy the relays exactly, and I put them as mine. I'm like, it still sucks. So I don't know what you guys want from me.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's evolving. It's an
early.
evolving
It's early.
technology. It still has some ways to go.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we gotta bring back the Bitcoin forum because the Twitter feed, like, it caters to those. I mean, what is now X? Maybe that had something to do with it. It caters more to certain, like, to the big people. I no longer see any posts from the smaller.
Yeah, it's fine.
people
Yeah, I
I
mean,
follow.
it's really, yeah, it sucks.
Lots of headlines. Lots of headlines of like
Doom
the
and
latest
gloom,
news.
fear, breaking
How much is
news.
going down? Breaking
Yeah,
news.
oh my god, it's the worst. I never look at my feeds, to be honest, anymore. The only reason I'm ever on Twitter is just because I run a business. I have.
Well,
personally, I'd be off.
when you go to Prague, it feels a little bit like the Twitter from back then.
Good.
Yeah.
You're really selling Prague, and I love it.
You have to go to Prague.
You have to go to Prague. It's so good. I'm going to keep bringing up Prague, and this is another reason why you need to go to Prague. It's great. It's like the old days.
Bring your
I
kids.
love it. I have only been once, but it was sitting out there. I felt that I was surrounded by people that thought the same way I did.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's like the good old days.
Yeah, because when I go to the American conferences and I go into all those corporate suits, I'm like, why am I here? What is going on?
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame out here. It's more marketing than anything, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, I will say Europeans definitely got the cypherpunk aspect of Bitcoin culture down. So Americans have definitely jumped into Wall Street Bitcoin.
Exactly.
It helps that it's a part of their culture. Like, I think they're just naturally rebellious and anarchists.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it works out very well there.
Even though we should be rebellious, holy shit! Like, what are we doing, Americans?
I think it's just that the crypto bros are like such a powerful pressure and like so much money. They like like they take over the scene. They like push the outsiders to the edge, and it's like, but we're here.
Well, you're right about the algorithm. I mean, you don't see small accounts anymore. It's very rare. And like, if you don't actually look through the comments on your posts, you'll never see them, and it sucks. So I think that definitely has a huge aspect of why.
But I think that crypto pro mentality extends beyond Twitter. Like, what I'm trying to say is that I feel like the same thing happens at the conference. Like, the conference is also like the new Twitter. I'm like, okay, I feel pushed out. What's happening?
I feel pushed out. Well, you can stop by our booth anytime we're there. You don't have to feel pushed out. All right, we'll invite you in. You can sit behind and watch a 3D printer run. Okay.
No, I mean, it's because I don't feel pushed out. But like, I can't find like my people. Like when I find my people, it's because we're outside, like with the devs hacking up at the table. Like
Yeah,
that's when
you gotta find your people like outside social media. If you find them on social media, like I always tell people, find a few good people that you love in the space, and that's all you ever need. To be honest, like that's your crew.
That's great advice. Yes. And it's so true. I would say just keeping like in-person culture alive, I've noticed works out so well.
Oh, I mean
Like you
that's a way
have,
different ball game. Yeah.
yeah, just keeping those meetups going, the different bit devs, all of that. I feel like, yeah, if they take over the big conferences, then there will be another set of people like, let's just make our own thing.
I
Let's go
mean,
back
there's a
to
ton of us that are
forum
like,
or
yeah, there's a ton of us that are like, we should just do like a pleb conference and like throw it outside the
Yeah.
actual conference and just be like, yo, we're gonna sit in this hotel lobby and just chill. Like, there's been a lot of that, and you've seen it. I think a couple of people have actually done it before. But yeah, face to face is going to be very important as social media like algorithms have changed. I mean, go to your local meetups and you'll understand what Bitcoin truly is about, and not just the crap you see on Twitter or TikTok or YouTube or God, whatever other ones there are. You guys don't have to let me ramble.
and I think what you're doing
I was
too,
thinking about when
connecting.
I saw the photo of your baby on Twitter, like like a year or so ago.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, what are we doing here? I tell you.
Bridging,
Wow.
right? Connecting through things
Yeah,
like
that's what matters.
culture,
Yes.
right? Because I mean, you could have a bit devs, but if your local bit devs just stays internal and isn't making a difference in the community, I mean, it's great that you get together, but how are we getting plebs into Bitcoin? That's key, I think, and creating that. So merch is great for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, all
peer
kinds
to
of stuff.
peer.
Arts, right?
Yes, I mean, art is very important. That's how you build culture, and I hope we never lose it. And that's like the only thing that's like keeping it going. But that's just me. I don't know.
I just feel very content. These meetings, one of the things that
Me
I
too.
appreciate the most about doing these interviews is that when I am by myself, the FUD and the FOMO, and I just get all these voices oppressing me and giving me all these thoughts, and then like I come in this
Did you
interview
start
and I'm
Bitcoin when I
like,
did?
oh no, Bitcoin is great. We're on the boat. Everything is fine. We're doing fine.
Yeah, you gotta stop listening to. You gotta stop going on social media. It helps so
Yeah.
much. If you stop listening to everything, it's great in reality because you take a step back and you really are just like Bitcoin's gonna be Bitcoin. We've won, and anybody that tells you we haven't is, I mean, they got something.
I think it's more, I don't really go on social media that much, but I have, because I'm a developer, I have like lingering like technical fears that I'm like, okay, but is this going to really work? Like there's arguments, but
I
is
get
it going
that.
to really work?
Yeah, I get that. That's a way different ball game for sure. But yeah, don't ever have like, it has been amazing to like step away from social media a lot because like I have ever since I had my kid, I've definitely taken a step back on as much as I have been on and like let other people do other stuff. It's glorious. I love it. I really am chill. I am at the I don't give a fuck stage of Bitcoin in my journey. I'm just here building, creating stuff, and I really don't care about too much of like what's happening. The latest like arguments on Twitter or FUD or kind of ignore it all, to be honest, and just build. It's fun. That's my bliss. That's why we get Bitcoin in the first place, so we don't have to deal with this shit.
Yeah, would you say there's stages, right? For
Yes.
people who getting in early? Because that's what I've seen. Different stories. There are all kinds of stages. People start remembering the past differently, and back in my day, that kind of thing, like you were
Yes. I
saying.
mean, that's basically like every halving, right? So, like it.
Exactly.
No, like
I wanted to say
yes.
something to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So every halving, when I come up on 3 halvings, I'm gonna let somebody else run my social media on CryptoCloaks. Like that's my out. Block 1,050,000. I'm done. I'm out of social media. I'm just gonna sit back and build. Other people can run my Twitter account. I don't care anymore. I've been in here for that by that time 12 years. But every halving, you really do go through like the aspects, and you kind of go, okay, the cycle continues. Yeah, every halving is really the thing that people, I mean, take into consideration. At least for me, because I've watched everybody prior hit 3 halvings, and they're like they disappear or just like that's it, that's FU money, and you're done. And I think that happens. Like no matter when you get in, as soon as you hit 3 halvings, you're done because Bitcoin's only going to go up. If you get into Bitcoin now, yeah, you probably have 10 years until you're 10, 12 years until your third halving, and then you're done. But you're never too late. It's just when you start is really what matters.
Yeah, what kind of oh sorry, go
No,
ahead.
please.
Yeah. So who do you see as buying your products right now? Like, are you seeing more young people? Are you seeing, more of
It's
the
everybody.
older
So
crowd or everyone?
yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's everyone.
that's awesome.
I still have customers that were buying stuff in the 2018 days, and they still talk to me all the time, and I love it. And I mean, I wouldn't be here without them. But you also
What's
have new people. 30 minutes, I love it. That's hilarious. Oh, we're doing pretty good then. But no, we also have new people coming in. It's the same thing. There is no, for me, I haven't seen any difference. There is no like like age or new or whatever. I get everybody, which is really, really nice.
what's a fan favorite?
Bitcoin Grenade.
Yeah,
Any
get a
yeah,
Bitcoin grenade.
Bitcoin Grenade, any home mining, a miner, the block me jigs, which are literally stamping your own seed phrase into metal washers. Those are our biggest ones, to be honest.
I like those.
They used to be like lightning shells, but a lot of people stopped building their own nodes out of Raspberry Pis. But yeah, Bitcoin Grenades are our number one. I think they always will be, which is awesome to see. But yeah, then like stamping the seed phrases and stuff.
But with SBL, the Raspberry Pi might come back.
It might, but there's a lot of like different hardware that is coming out, like cheap laptops. You're better off running nodes on those. But I think with like Raspberry Pi, if you get like the separate boards that split out into SATA, so that way you can have your SSDs running, way better days than having a USB plug into your hard drive. So yeah, I mean, it could come back. I know a lot of people are still trying to like get Raspberry Pi 5 nodes running, which is great.
We're coming to a close, but I do want to share something about what you were saying earlier. And we're kind of in the same Bitcoin generation. So I feel like we have a similar sensation. I feel I empathize a lot with how you feel about where you are now.
Yeah.
But then that also made me feel like because adoption is going slowly and it's going to continue to happen for like a decade. We are,
more than
or
a decade.
2 decades. I mean, it's going to be slow.
Yeah.
We are going to continue to see from as insiders, as other people go through that same first cycle where you're not a believer.
God, yeah. I mean, that's the gloriousness of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone deals with the same shit no matter when you enter. It doesn't matter. It's like the halving cycles are literally Bitcoiners just it's like joining a frat or a sorority, like the hazing portion of like getting into it. Like, welcome to it. You're in. Like you have to go through it. You have to learn. Like you have to go through your halvings. I mean, that's just what it is.
But the first cycle would be when you get like burnt by your group mates. You suffer through the first whole cycle because you're an idiot. And then the second cycle, you're like, oh, okay, I believe you, but I still don't know what I'm doing. And then your third cycle, you're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, up, down, what?
When the third, like I'm midway through my second cycle and I'm at the point where I don't care. I'm happy. I'm just like, I'm on a coast. I will keep building. I love everything I do. I love Bitcoin. I ignore all the bull crap with it and I just build. I mean, I may be early on the cycles, but yeah, third cycle is usually when that.
Yeah, I hear you. It just depends like how fast you are to be trusting. Some people, the trust, it takes a little longer. Or like because it's not trust, it's faith, to be honest.
Yeah, basically.
And proof of work, right? That's a big one.
I love it.
Yes, but you have to, there's like a leap of faith that you take at some moment where you say, you know what, I'm going to stop questioning this. Everything I think seems to be true. And I'm just going to take this leap of faith where I'm going to stop like the FUD and the fear.
Same.
And I'm just going to believe in this full-heartedly and go all in.
Yeah. A shift needs to happen there to really let go. And like you're saying.
Some people it takes longer and that's okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
You said you have kids, right?
Yeah, I have one kid. Kid.
How are you explaining Bitcoin to however old he is? Like,
I mean, he's a year and a half, but we gave him already Bitcoin books. Yeah, I mean, I have Bitcoin books. I have so many Bitcoin kid books that I've gotten over the years that I literally just like read to him. He has no idea what the hell I'm talking about at this point. But eventually he will. And that's what I use. I use all the Bitcoin books from all the different places.
I have a
That's a big one. Like, explain Bitcoin to a kindergartner, right? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
That's recurring.
Oh God, yeah. There's no one time in this stuff.
I wish my daughter was here because she's six right now, and
Yeah.
we could ask her like, what is Bitcoin? And with the last time I asked her, I can't remember verbatim what she said, but it was pretty accurate. And she's like, my mind is always working in Bitcoin.
That's awesome though. That's what I want. I'll eventually get that. That'd be awesome.
I very much enjoy watching the kids who come in talk about their parents who work on Bitcoin, which I
Yeah,
have
I bet
so
that's
many
awesome.
friends that it's like that. It's just like a whole other thing. And they're coming in it, they're like, yeah, mom works on Bitcoin. It's just, that's just who she is, and like little by little, they ask questions. And speaking of Prague, like, it was really cool to see like people like Daniel Prince and his family being there and how they're just like so involved in their own different ways. Like seeing these kids, one of them wants to be more into like, I would say like business development, the other one's more, it just depends on their little personalities, and they've all figured it out without anyone telling them. They're just like, all right, I'm just going to learn about it this way and talking to people. So I feel like bringing them to the conferences is important
Oh God, yeah.
so they could start like understanding, or to like events or whatever, like here and there. Because yeah, they learn talking to other people about it, not just seeing you build.
You're good. You're good.
One
Speaking of
sec.
family,
Yeah, I was gonna say she came down. One second. Sorry. Can
Don't
this be
worry
cut
about
out of the
it. Do
podcast?
it. Do it. We're coming to a
All right.
close anyway, so I'm gonna just give a little.
Okay. Cut it. Cut the feed. If you do a closing right now, that'd be great, and I'll come back in like 2 minutes.
Do it. Do it. Go for it.
All right, perfect.
All right, Desiree. Well, why don't we take this chance to talk a little bit about you so that our audience can get to know you, since this is your first time joining us, and that way they can know a little bit more.
thank you for having me on. And yeah, I got into Bitcoin through film, just working on a film, helping out and piecing things together. I have a science background and research. So for me, doing that shift made me question a lot of things, even like the system. I am from Puerto Rico, so it's a very different kind of thing. We're part of the United States, but we're kind of like our own thing. So we're very naturally curious, and things don't work as well here, even the electricity. So naturally, I gravitated towards, you were talking about earlier, media and programming. And so that was very interesting to me, storytelling. So getting to see and help out on a film, the process of that and how the impact that it's created, it was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So now I'm learning and honing that at the moment, first right here, and I've traveled all over working on a film documentary project, and made a lot of friends along the way, built up my company. I've helped people in other little projects create some storytelling around what they're doing, and yeah, and I want to do more of that. So happy to be here.
Well, this is a great space to find stories and to, speak to people with very unique experiences in the space. And that's like my favorite thing, is to get into the little secrets and the little thoughts.
Yeah. It's going to be important to have a recorded history, like piece together what this time was like, right? Because a lot of history is written by people in power. So how are we going to tell that ourselves? And I think things like this are just very, very important, through art, through film, through podcasts, through all kinds of stuff.
It's very important because all of history that we know of has probably basically been a lie. What is it?
Yeah.
History's written by the winners?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Something.
I was gonna say, yeah, we are the winners. We are writing the history.
The majority who's able to write history.
Yeah.
Well, because now you can't rewrite history.
No, it's locked in the blockchain now.
But what about the secrets that come out? So
Yeah, right.
kind of, yeah. I mean, people find out stuff years later, and then it's just like, oh, wow, gotta think of that differently now.
Yeah,
I think it's like
crazy.
your kids will have another perception of history, which is very interesting as it changes.
We're getting crazy. We're getting cosmic here. Start thinking about what our kids think about our futures versus what oh man, history. Well, thanks for letting me run off, by the way. That was my bad.
I didn't feel you ran off. I was happy to follow along what you were sharing.
It was so funny. I was like, oh my God. I saw my wife come down the stairs, and I go, babe, I'm in a podcast. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, no, I tried to warn you.
But yesterday,
That's
remember,
okay.
2 days ago, we tried to do this interview and we all have families and all of our kids were in the way of doing the podcast. And that's the whole thing about Bitcoin. Family comes first, you know,
That's my
Bitcoin comes second.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad everyone, like, once you have a family, you really do understand that aspect a lot. Like, I felt so bad because I've done a couple other podcasts before this one and I've had to reschedule like 8 times with them too. And it's basically you're battling like kids and life constantly with 2 people and it's just so tough. Hopefully nobody ever gets mad because, yeah, my kid's sick this time. I was like, well, that's great because my kid's sick or my kid has this appointment I can't get off or my wife has this meeting I have to like watch my kid. And it's a battle. It really is.
Yes,
I
with
love
the
it.
children, yes. But I'm glad that we were able to make it happen finally because we both came into Bitcoin around the same time. I have known about you around since the beginning because I think I've known about you since the beginning because I got exposed to it right away.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it.
Because
thank you for finally having it.
It's great to know about you because I'm a little, I got into Bitcoin probably 5-ish years ago, so I'm a little newer to it.
You're still good. You've been in it long enough.
I would say so. I'm at a pretty happy part of my cycle, right? Of my journey.
What are you in your middle? Or are you second halving? Start of your second halving?
Like I got
sooner or
in
later
when
you're gonna
the
hit your
first
bliss
halving,
stage.
like the halving before this had just begun.
Yeah.
I would say, around the pandemic or something. So it's just interesting to, talk to people who have been in it longer and see that like mentality shift and who's in it and who's building, who's not. A lot of the people who started, right, they're on a whole other plane. They're like,
they're either gone or it's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, they've already built their own little society somewhere, and it's just like, this is wild. Like you're thinking about totally different things now.
God, yeah.
Still use Bitcoin. That is one thing that I will say. Like they disappear, you disappear, but is it really like Bitcoin already did its job in your life? Like it's so a part of your life, and that's the point, right?
Oh, when I say disappear, they're just off socials. They're forever using Bitcoin and like still in the communities, like on local events and stuff. But they're just like, why do I even need a social media account? It's pointless, right? Once you hit that level of like early days, you have so much money that there's literally no point in ever talking about anything. I would just live my life happy.
I have decided since like last week that my job as a Bitcoin maxi now is to discourage everybody from buying Bitcoin. Don't buy Bitcoin. You're not interested in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a terrible thing. You don't need to learn about it. Get away from it. It's all for me. I want to keep it all.
Reverse psychology is a hell of a way to do it. I should have used that on like my
parents. Oh no, it's not even reverse psychology. I'm serious. I want it all for myself.
I want it. Yeah, I mean, what do we have? Like everyone has buys set at like 0.03 cents to buy it all in case it crashes. I mean,
really?
Good luck going to zero.
Seriously?
Oh, I mean, there's tons of people. I think even Adam Beck has like he has a option that says buys all the 21 million at whatever, like 2 cents. Bitcoin's never going to zero, and nobody understands that because every one of us has if Bitcoin's hits like 0.5 cents, I'm gonna be buying. It doesn't even matter. Like there's so many, and there's people even above that level, like dollars, that they're gonna buy it all. It's never going to zero. People don't understand this. It's never going to zero.
Well, we're about to close. So is there anything else that you want to share with us before we go?
Yeah. If you're a Bitcoiner and you care about self-sovereignty, go buy a 3D printer. If you ever need help on what to buy or what to do, reach out to me. I'm always here. That's my main passion besides Bitcoin is self-sovereignty with 3D printers. So hit me up.
I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bitfluencers, the Bitcoin marketing podcast. And we can't wait to see you again soon.
Look at that, BTC Prague.
I love it. I love it.
That's
and
good.
you're going to love it too. You'll see. Go.
I mean, it has a good beat.